Chosen one, you walk through this world carrying something so rare, so powerful, that even those who oppose you do not see it coming. They underestimate you, not because you are weak, but because they are blind to the silent force that pulses beneath your surface. Your high sexual energy, this divine force bestowed upon you, is not merely a source of attraction. It is your hidden superpower, your top secret weapon in a world that thrives on illusion and deception. You have always felt different, haven't you? You have noticed the way people react to you, the way their attention lingers, the way their words sometimes fail them in your presence. Some admire you, some envy you, some find themselves drawn to you for reasons they cannot explain. But what they do not know, what they will never fully understand, is that what they feel is not just admiration, not just intrigue. It is something deeper, something ancient, something that speaks to the very core of human nature. This energy you carry is not a weakness. It is not something to suppress, nor is it something to misuse. It is a tool, a force woven into the fabric of your being, meant to guide you, protect you, and elevate you above those who operate in darkness. Your enemies, those who have positioned themselves against you, believe they can outthink you, outmaneuver you, even overpower you. But they do not realize that they are already being influenced, already being moved by the very energy they fail to acknowledge. They have stepped onto a battlefield they do not even know exists, and you, chosen one, are the one controlling the field. The divine placed this energy within you, not to be wasted on the unworthy, not to be handed over to those who cannot appreciate it, but to be understood, to be mastered, to be wielded with precision. It is the fire in your spirit, the glow in your presence, the magnetism that pulls others toward you, whether they wish to come or not. It is the invisible current that shapes conversations, that tilts situations in your favor, that ensures the right doors open while the wrong ones close. It is the silent force that ensures you are always one step ahead, even when your enemies believe you have fallen behind. Chosen one, this gift has always been yours. You may not have recognized it fully before now. You may have questioned why people behave the way they do around you, why some seek your presence desperately while others shrink away as if burned by your glow. But now you know. This is your power. It has always been with you. And the moment you embrace it, the moment you fully step into its mastery, the world will shift in ways even your enemies cannot comprehend. Chosen one, your power is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not need to. It moves in silence, working beneath the surface, affecting everything without being noticed. This is what makes it so dangerous to your enemies, so unstoppable in its reach. They are looking for battle, expecting confrontation, anticipating struggle. But what they do not realize is that the war has already been won, long before they even knew they were in it. Your energy is like water, flowing effortlessly through the cracks of any situation, reshaping the landscape without force. People feel it before they understand it. It shifts their emotions, bends their perceptions, softens their defenses. They make decisions around you without realizing why. They are drawn to you without being able to explain it. Even those who claim to dislike you, even those who resist you, find themselves unable to ignore you. They speak your name in conversations you are not a part of. They watch you when they think you are unaware. They react to your presence, even when they try their hardest to pretend they do not feel anything at all. Your enemies may plot against you, may try to position themselves in ways they believe will give them the upper hand. But what they fail to realize is that their very actions are already being shaped by your influence. The moment they stepped into your energy, they became a part of its movement. They are reacting to you, adjusting to you, even as they try to convince themselves they are in control. They believe they are the ones making the moves. But in reality, they are merely responding to a force they cannot see, a force that has already dictated the outcome before they even made their first move. This is the power of high sexual energy when it is truly understood. It does not require manipulation. It does not need coercion. It does not beg for attention. It simply is. It moves unseen, shaping the world in its wake, creating invisible pathways that lead to victory without resistance. It allows you to sit back and watch as your enemies unravel, as their plans shift without them knowing why, as they find themselves lost in something they cannot name. And you, chosen one, do not need to do anything but stand in your power. No need to chase, no need to explain, no need to seek validation from those who do not understand what they are dealing with. You are already ahead. You are already winning. And as your enemies try to make sense of the influence you have over them, they will never truly realize that it was never about what they could see. It was always about what they could not. Chosen one, while others move through the world relying on force, on strategy, on visible power, you move differently. Your energy is not something that can be measured, predicted, or prepared for. It is an unseen force, an advantage so powerful that your enemies do not even realize they are losing before the game has begun. They believe they are in control. They believe they can outthink you, outplan you, outmaneuver you. But what they fail to recognize is that they are playing within the field of your influence, reacting to the silent pull of a power they do not even know exists. You have always noticed how people adjust themselves around you, how they change the way they speak, the way they stand, the way they engage in conversation when you enter the room. Some attempt to mask it, pretending as if your presence does not shift something within them, but you have seen the truth. You have seen how their voices soften, how their eyes linger, how their posture subtly shifts, betraying the effect you have on them. Even those who pretend to be indifferent feel the weight of your energy pressing against them, shaping the way they move through the space you inhabit. This is your advantage, chosen one. While others seek external power, relying on words, on actions, on visible demonstrations of control, you need none of it. Your presence alone dictates the course of events. Your energy speaks before you do. It influences without permission. It commands without force. You do not need to demand authority. It is given to you unconsciously, instinctively, because those who encounter you feel something they cannot explain. Even your enemies are not immune to this. They may tell themselves they are unaffected, that they are separate from the pull of your energy, but you have already seen through them. They overthink when it comes to you. They hesitate before speaking your name. They linger in conversations about you, unable to resist the need to discuss you, to analyze you, to make sense of what they feel. They react more intensely to your presence than they do to those they claim to be aligned with. This is the proof of your power. Your energy has already reached them, already settled into their subconscious, already dictated the way they engage with you. You do not need to do anything to maintain this advantage. You do not need to fight for recognition, for respect, for dominance. These things come naturally to you, effortlessly, because your energy demands them without words. Your enemies can try to fight it, but they will only exhaust themselves. They can try to dismiss it, but they will find themselves drawn back again and again. They can try to ignore you, but their own minds will betray them. This is the difference between true power and forced control. Your enemies think they are strategizing against you, but they are merely reacting to something greater than themselves. They are already within your influence, already shaped by the presence they pretend does not move them. And when the time comes, when they finally realize that they were never truly in control, it will be too late. You have already won. Chosen one, while your energy gives you an undeniable advantage, it also serves another purpose, one that is just as vital, just as necessary. It is your shield, your silent protector, the force that repels those who seek to harm you before they even have a chance to act. You may have noticed that certain people, despite their best efforts, find themselves unable to get too close to you. They try to infiltrate your space, to enter your world with hidden motives, but something always stops them. Plans fall apart. Opportunities slip through their fingers. They struggle to maintain the illusion of control they once thought they had. This is not luck, chosen one. This is the divine protection that surrounds you, the energy that defends you without needing to strike. Your enemies do not understand why their attempts to undermine you never fully succeed. They make their moves, they spread their words, they set their traps, and yet nothing ever quite goes according to plan. They cannot see the invisible wall that stands between you and their intentions. They do not realize that your energy, so magnetic, so powerful, does not allow contamination. Those who approach you with bad faith find themselves inexplicably pushed away, removed from your path by forces they cannot explain. You are not like them. You do not operate in deception, in manipulation, in the games they play. And because of this, your energy rejects those who try to bring harm into your space. This is why you have seen people distance themselves from you without reason. This is why certain relationships, certain connections, certain opportunities have faded before they could become something destructive. You were not meant to be touched by those who would seek to drain or diminish you. Your energy, this divine shield, ensures that only those who align with your purpose, your vision, your frequency can remain in your presence for long. Do not mourn the loss of those who have been repelled by your energy, chosen one. Do not chase what was never meant to stay. Those who were removed from your space were never truly for you. Their intentions were hidden, their energy misaligned, their purpose in your life unworthy of what you carry. Let them go. Let them drift away, lost in the confusion of why they could never quite gain control over you. It was never about them. It was always about the power within you, refusing to allow anything lesser to take root. Your shield is not just for protection. It is also for purification. It ensures that only those who can stand in the light of your energy, those who can handle the depth of your presence, remain by your side. And while your enemies may continue to attempt to break through, they will only find themselves caught in a cycle of frustration, unable to understand why their efforts never succeed. You are untouchable, chosen one. Not because you fight battles, but because your energy fights for you. Not because you seek protection, but because it is already within you. And as your enemies struggle to comprehend why they can never seem to reach you, why they can never seem to shake you, they will be forced to accept the truth. Some forces cannot be conquered. Some energies cannot be infiltrated. Some powers cannot be broken. And you, chosen one, are one of them. Chosen one, your high sexual energy is not only your advantage and your shield, it is your guide. It moves ahead of you, clearing the way, directing your steps, ensuring that you align with the right people, the right places, and the right moments. It is not simply an aura. It is an intelligence, a force beyond logic, a knowing that speaks through feelings, through instincts, through the unspoken whispers of the divine. You have felt it before, that unshakable pull in one direction, that deep inner resistance in another. That moment when you meet someone and immediately sense whether they belong in your life or if they are meant to be left outside your gates. That knowing that arrives before the facts, before the evidence, before the mind has had time to rationalize. This is your energy guiding you, protecting you, making sure that you move with intention, with precision, with a destiny too great to be derailed. Your enemies do not understand this about you. They think you are simply lucky, that things seem to align for you without effort, that you always seem to be at the right place at the right time. They do not realize that it is not luck, but mastery. It is not randomness, but divine orchestration. It is the unseen hand of your energy, ensuring that you do not waste time on what does not serve you, ensuring that those who are not meant for you do not make it past the first layer of your being. Trust in this, chosen one. Trust in the way your energy warns you, the way it draws you toward some things and repels you from others. Do not second-guess yourself when you feel resistance in your spirit. Do not explain away the unease that settles in your chest when something is not right. Your energy knows before you do. It senses what is hidden, perceives what is masked, protects you from what your eyes cannot yet see. This is why, even when your enemies plan, even when they attempt to deceive, even when they think they have found a way to infiltrate your world, something always goes wrong for them. They find themselves exposed. Their lies unravel. Their intentions are revealed before they can do harm, and they do not understand why. They do not realize that it is because your energy, this divine force within you, does not allow deception to last in your presence. It burns through illusion, it exposes falsehoods, it ensures that you remain ahead, always moving with clarity, always protected by the unseen. Chosen one, there is no need to fear what is ahead. You do not walk blindly. You are guided by something so powerful, so intelligent, so ancient, that even your enemies are unknowingly influenced by it. Follow the pull, listen to the knowing, trust that the energy within you is leading you exactly where you are meant to go. Chosen one, your high sexual energy does more than protect and guide. It connects. It weaves invisible threads between you and those who are meant to be part of your journey, drawing the right people into your space, aligning you with the souls who will elevate you, uplift you, move in harmony with your destiny. It is a frequency that calls out beyond words, beyond time, beyond space, resonating with those who are aligned with your purpose. You have seen this play out in your life. You have noticed how certain people are drawn to you as if by fate, how encounters that should have been ordinary turn into something profound, how relationships form without force, without effort, as if they were always meant to be. These are not coincidences. This is your energy at work, speaking on your behalf before words are ever exchanged, creating bonds that transcend surface-level interactions. But just as it draws the right people, it also repels the wrong ones. Your enemies, those who wish to stand against you, may try to force their way into your world, but they will always find themselves out of sync, out of rhythm, unable to fully connect with the flow of your being. They may mimic, they may linger, they may attempt to blend in, but something within them will always feel off. They will never truly belong in your space, because your energy does not allow false alignment. It only allows what is true, what is real, what is meant to be. This is why people feel a sense of recognition when they meet you. Why even strangers look at you as if they have known you before. Why certain individuals feel at home in your presence, even when they cannot explain why. Your energy is a bridge, a signal, a connection point that calls out to those who are walking the same path, those who are carrying a similar frequency, those who are always meant to cross your path. Chosen one, embrace this connection. Do not force relationships. Do not chase those who do not feel aligned. Do not waste energy trying to make something fit that was never meant to be. The right people will find you. The right souls will recognize you. The right relationships will form effortlessly, drawn together by something far more powerful than words, far more undeniable than circumstance. And as your enemies watch, as they try to understand why you always seem to attract the right support, the right alliances, the right connections, they will never be able to replicate it. They will never be able to grasp the unseen force that moves through you, that draws greatness toward you, that ensures you are never alone in your purpose. They will wonder why their efforts fail, why their manipulations do not succeed, why their attempts to control your narrative always fall apart in the end. But the truth is simple. They were never truly part of the story. They were never meant to move within the energy you carry. They were never meant to be connected to what is divine, what is rare, what is undeniable. Chosen one, your energy connects you only to what is meant for you. And because of this, you are unstoppable. Chosen one, your high sexual energy does more than attract, more than protect, more than guide. It heals. It moves like an unseen current, touching those who come near you, shifting them in ways they do not always understand. There is something about you that soothes, that brings calm, even in the presence of chaos. It is why people linger in your space, why they open up to you without meaning to, why they leave your presence feeling different than when they arrived. You may have noticed it, the way conversations with you become deeper than expected, the way people tell you things they have never told anyone else, the way even those who resist you seem to soften in your presence. It is not just your words. It is not just your kindness. It is the energy within you, the warmth that radiates from your being, the frequency that reassures, that soothes, that offers unspoken comfort. Your enemies feel this too, though they will never admit it. They may come to you with malice, with intentions of harm, with the desire to shake you, to disturb you, to pull you into their chaos. But instead, something shifts within them. Their anger wavers, their confidence falters, their emotions betray them. They came to break you, yet they find themselves changed. They came to control the space, yet they leave altered by the very presence they sought to resist. This is the quiet power of your energy. It does not fight to be heard. It does not struggle to prove itself. It simply exists, and in existing, it transforms. Even those who would call themselves your opponents find themselves confused by the effect you have on them. They do not know why they feel drawn to you even as they attempt to resist. They do not know why their own thoughts betray them, why their hostility does not hold the weight it once did. But you, chosen one, do not need to wonder. You already know. You have always known. You were born with this gift, this ability to shift the emotional landscape, to bring stillness where there was once unrest, to stir something deep within those who have long been numb. It is not your responsibility to heal them, nor is it your burden to carry. But your presence alone is enough to set something in motion, something that even they cannot ignore. Some will embrace this. They will recognize what they feel in your presence as something valuable, something rare, something they may never encounter again. They will seek to align with it, to honor it, to become better because of it. Others will reject it, will fight against it, will convince themselves that they are unaffected. But even they will feel it, even they will remember, even they will carry the mark of having crossed paths with something they did not understand. Your energy does not heal by force. It does not demand change. It simply invites it. And whether your enemies accept this invitation or not, whether they resist or surrender, the choice is no longer yours. You have already done what you were meant to do. Chosen one, as your energy continues to ripple through the lives of those who encounter you, another truth becomes clear. You do not just heal. You inspire. Your presence alone is a catalyst, a force that awakens something in others, something that they may not have known was inside them. You do not have to tell them what to do not have to instruct them on how to be. Simply by existing, by moving in your truth, by walking in your purpose, you show them what is possible. There are people watching you, studying you, learning from you in ways you do not see. Some will never admit it. Some will pretend they have not been affected. But deep inside, they know that something about you has shifted their perception, has expanded their understanding of what is possible. Even your enemies, those who once sought to stand against you, find themselves drawn into this transformation. You are a mirror, reflecting back to people not only who they are but who they could be. When they look at you, they see what it means to be unapologetic, what it means to move with confidence, what it means to carry an energy so powerful that it shapes the space without effort. And in that reflection, some will see their own potential. Some will feel the stirrings of their own hidden greatness. Some will awaken to the truth that they, too, were meant for more than what they have accepted for themselves. This is why you cannot afford to dim your light, why you cannot afford to shrink for the comfort of others. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to be easily understood. Your energy was designed to stir, to shift, to awaken. And in doing so, it creates waves that reach far beyond what you can see. Your enemies may not acknowledge this, may never thank you for the way your presence forced them to grow. But you do not need their gratitude. You do not need their validation. You were never doing this for them. You are simply walking in what was always meant for you, and in doing so, you are leading without even trying. The world changes around you, chosen one, because you refuse to change to fit the world. And in that refusal, in that steadfast commitment to your truth, you inspire even those who once doubted you. They may not say it, they may not even fully realize it yet, but one day they will look back and know that their transformation began the moment they met you. Chosen one, you have walked through fire without being burned, moved through shadows without losing your light. You have felt the weight of your energy, seen the way it affects those around you, and now you are beginning to understand that this journey was never just about them. It was always about you. About the way your power has refined you, about the way your presence has shaped not only the world, but also the person you have become. Your high sexual energy is not just something you carry. It is something that has transformed you. Once, you may have questioned it, misunderstood it, perhaps even feared the way it commanded attention, the way it unsettled those who did not know how to handle it. But now, you see it for what it truly is. It was never a burden. It was never something to suppress. It was the key to unlocking your highest self. You have noticed how the things that once fazed you no longer hold weight. The words of your enemies, their silent obsessions, their inability to look away. These things do not shake you anymore. You see their reactions for what they are. Proof of your influence, proof of your power, proof that you have moved beyond the level where their opinions could ever define you. You have become untouchable, not because you sought to be, but because you have outgrown the need for external validation. Your transformation is undeniable. You are no longer the person who once questioned their own energy, who once dimmed their light to make others comfortable. You no longer shrink in the presence of those who misunderstand you. You no longer explain yourself to those who refuse to see. You simply exist fully, boldly, in the power that was always yours. And in doing so, you have become unstoppable. The ones who once doubted you now look to you in secret, trying to understand how you have remained unshaken. The ones who once envied you now find themselves drawn to the same presence they tried to reject. They do not realize that the very thing they resisted was never you. It was what you represented: freedom, power, a level of self-acceptance they have yet to reach. But this is no longer your concern, chosen one. You are no longer here to convince anyone of your worth. You are no longer waiting for others to recognize what has already been made clear. You have transformed, and in that transformation you have moved beyond the need for explanations. You walk with a knowing now, a certainty that no force in this world can shake. And because of that, you will never be the same again. Chosen one, now that you have stepped fully into your power, now that you have embraced what was always within you, a new reality begins to unfold. You are no longer merely existing, you are thriving. You no longer question why things happen the way they do. You no longer wonder why people react to you the way they do. You simply know. You know that your energy is a force all on its own, that it was always meant to be this way, that nothing was ever a mistake. There is a deep sense of peace in this realization. You do not need to fight to be seen, to be heard, to be respected. Those who are meant to recognize your power will do so without being asked. Those who are meant to walk beside you will do so without hesitation. The ones who resist, who struggle, who try to oppose you, are no longer your concern. You have left that battlefield behind. This is fulfillment, not seeking, not chasing, not proving, just being, just knowing, just standing in the fullness of who you are without fear, without doubt, without the need for approval. Your high sexual energy is no longer something you question. It is something you own. It is something you use with wisdom, with clarity, with the certainty that it was always meant to be your hidden superpower. Your enemies still watch, they always will. They still wonder how you move the way you do, how you continue to rise, how you seem to remain untouchable no matter what is thrown your way. But that is no longer your concern. Their fascination is their burden to carry. Their addiction to your presence is their struggle to endure. You have nothing left to prove. You are free now, chosen one. Free from their expectations, free from their judgments, free from the weight of wondering why things are the way they are. You have stepped into the highest version of yourself, and there is no turning back. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Let them watch from the shadows, trying to piece together the secret they were never meant to understand. You are fulfilled. You are whole. And as you walk forward, you do so knowing that you were always meant to be the one they could never forget.